allegiance
to the
to
flag
the flag of the
of the
United States of America and to the
to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, my least favorite task of every one of these meetings, and provide the public with notice that due to the COVID-19 coronavirus crisis and in accordance with Governor Sununu's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, however, in a emergency order, this is to confirm that we are providing access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. We are utilizing the Zoom platform for this electronic meeting, and all members of the board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through the Zoom platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing area code 301-715-8597 and entering meeting code. Let me make sure I'm correct one. 91702-5727. We've provided public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting via Zoom. Instructions are provided on the Town of Newmarket website at www.newmarketnh.gov. There are provisions to alert the public body during the meeting if there's a problem with access. Please call area code 602-292-1221. We will adjourn the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event this happens, the meeting will be rescheduled. Please note that all votes taken during the meeting shall be done by roll call vote. So we will begin the meeting with a roll call attendance. When I call your name, please confirm that you're here, and also let us know whether you're by yourself or whether there's someone else in the room with you. Roger?
Here alone.
Joe?
Here and alone.
Jeff?
Here and alone.
Rob?
Presently alone.
Mike?
Here and alone.
Eric? You're on mute there.
Here and alone, sorry.
present and alone.
And John?
Present and alone.
Just for the public's notice, Mike Kennison, the school board representative or former school board representative, let me know that he won't be here tonight. Mike is no longer in office. The school board's terms having already expired. Just a quick word of explanation. The school district, unlike the town, which changed its charter to make elected officials' terms start and end with an inauguration day in April, the school district, their terms are still up as soon as the election is over. So the school board has yet to appoint their representative to the budget committee for the upcoming year. Also, Matt Evangelista is not with us this evening. Matt didn't run for re-election. Okay, with that housekeeping taken care of, the next thing we have on the agenda is to review the minutes of the January 14th, 2021 meeting, which I sent out with the agenda a bit earlier. I'll open it up, or actually I accept a motion on approving the minutes of the January 14th, 2021 meeting.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from January 14, 2021.
Thank you, Joe.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Zach. All right, corrections, edits, anything anybody saw that didn't comport with their with memory?
I'm okay here.
Yeah, I did not see anything.
Looks good.
This, by the way, if, so everybody knows, this was the public hearing on the school district, or sorry, this was the public hearing on the town and school district warrant articles. All right, going once, going twice. Let's do a roll call vote on accepting the minutes of the January 14th meeting. Roger,
aye,
Joe,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Zach,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I vote yes. So we are 9 yes and 2 abstaining. The minutes are accepted. Next on the agenda, we had introduction of newly elected. I'd asked Steve and also Terry to send invites to the new members if they had their contact information. I don't believe either of the newly elected members have joined us this evening, so I guess that introductions will get postponed until the reformation meeting in April. We did have 2 candidates who were elected to the budget committee. As I understand it, there were also 2 write-in candidates who received votes who either declined or didn't respond to the town when they were asked about their interest. Without the new members, I guess it doesn't need, I guess we don't really need to review the roles and responsibilities because there's, for who, nobody here for whose benefit we'd be doing that. Again, we'd invited the town manager and the school district to provide mid-year updates. I know the town business administrator had been on the incorrect Zoom call. I don't believe Bill has joined us on this one. So that can't be done, I suppose. The superintendent wasn't feeling well, so she didn't join us this evening. Again, I'd invited the business administrator, who also doesn't seem to be here. So I'm afraid the agendas, we're rather quickly running out of agenda here for this meeting. Is there any other business anybody would like to bring up? I did see oh, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. Just curious, I believe it was John's just asked the question about, does he need to be sworn in? I believe for this meeting, he's good, but if he wanted to attend or take part in any future meetings, I think he would need to apply and then get sworn in. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So you're good for tonight.
Yeah, all of us are still at the moment, legally elected officials.
Okay, great.
And I think Bill Tappan, Bill, you're on mute, but I think you're in. We just can't hear you yet. Bill, can you come off mute there? Sorry, I just, so everybody who might be watching knows, I'm was exchanging text with an administrator trying to help Bill Tappan, who's the town business administrator, get in. Nobody's texting me how to vote on anything.
Tim, you may need to let Bill become unmuted on your side if you're the host. That's
How's
this
that?
issue sometimes.
There we are. There you go.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't popping up for me.
All right. You'd like to share with us this evening as far as where the town's finances stand mid-year?
Yeah, so I apologize for the video, but I'm not that good looking anyway. Everyone has a copy of what was sent to you earlier today. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So there's I guess, given the fact that we're in the midst of this pandemic, the real news is that across the board, we've been doing about normal. We're, pretty much where we should be in terms of what we would project throughout the year. Your typical spend, give or take, at this period should be somewhere around 66.7%. And we're right about there in terms of expenditures. I think we're at 68 or 64 or something like that. And then in terms of I think, we're 68%. We were slightly improved, I guess, depending on how you look at it, from the prior year by 1 percentage point. And then in terms of revenue, we're fairly on track. The one area that we were expecting to be a concern was recreation. But in fact, they were doing as predicted. But when I had a conversation, I don't want to steal Steve's thunder for the next meeting, but had a conversation with Amy Gigande today, and she was telling me that they actually had quite a few more children signed up for the summer program than last year. Not as high as normal for, the 2 years ago, they had something like 300 kids. But I believe they've crested 100. They've been open 2 weeks for enrollment, and it's looking good so far. So we're doing better than we were anticipating coming out of the gate. So that's in my mind good news. Not great, but good.
Can I ask a question? That the second column, is that month to date revenues, or is that really just the month of February revenues?
No, that is month. It is, yes. Well, that's a fair question. I like the way you said that. You're right. That is, it represents February revenues.
Okay. All right.
Because the column that's year-to-date revenues is actually up every month or period up to that month. So you are, that's a good question. That needs to be corrected, actually.
Okay.
Good one.
Is that true that all of real estate taxes have been collected? There's no outstanding real estate taxes?
Well, if I'm going by what I'm seeing I'm sorry. I was thinking for a second, you see the same report that the council sees. The council gets a monthly report from the tax collector's office or town clerk, and it's a cumulative report, but it also, you can, subtract the prior month and figure out where you are. And so, yes, to my knowledge, we are at 100% of what was anticipated to be collected for the year. I give or take maybe 1% or 2%. But to my knowledge, we are where we anticipated to be in terms of town clerk's expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, it has been a reasonably good year this year, I would say, particularly considering the crazy thing that we've been going through.
Bill, I noticed that the meals and room income is
Yep.
considerably greater than we anticipated. And will it continue to rise over the next 4 months?
Boy, is that Roger?
Yes.
I'm not, that's a fair question. I'm just not sure. I'd like to say yes, it should, but I don't really know at this point.
Okay.
But you're right. This is better than we were anticipating.
Have we heard anything from the state, gotten any guidance on that? So, do we know what their outlook is?
Not really. you know, and in fact, the way the state has been positioning everything is to be very conservative this year. I mean, I'm a member of GFOA for New Hampshire, the Government Finance Office Association, and we really, most of it's been nail biting in anticipation of what was going to happen this year, but everyone has been more or less pleasantly surprised. So, particularly in terms of meals and room tax.
Okay, sorry, I think I interrupted the second part of your question, Roger. You're on mute, Roger.
All right, sorry about that. The school department, that is, I assume that's the rent from the school department?
Hold on a second. Department. That it's okay. So that could be actually a number of things, because we charge the school for, it's basically pass-through costs, and some other things, but so because we do a number of things jointly with them. And so there's revenue that comes in, and it is technically revenue for things that we have been billed for. We've paid the bills for them, and then we issue an invoice to them, which they then reimburse us for.
So they haven't reimbursed us yet for those, but we expect them to do so, correct?
That'll be going throughout the year, because some of these things are ongoing expenses.
Okay. My last question, Fund 17, Energy, can you explain that those line items?
Let me get where you are.
It's $116,000. It sounds like a negative balance in a fund.
17.
Roger, was that the stuff on the last page of the document?
Yeah, are you in the grant section? Where are you?
Looks like the last page.
Last page of what you sent.
Oh, there it is. Energy efficiency buildings. That one there.
Correct.
Okay. So that is, yes, we are actually, that was money that is going to be reimbursed or has just recently been reimbursed for energy efficiency projects. We had used, this is before me, but the way this was set up so that through a leasing company, sorry, my dog's freaking out. My son must be home. We used a leasing company to pay for the equipment for the energy efficiency project, the first phase of it. And that money was spent. And then once we showed that money was spent, then we were being reimbursed for it. And in fact, that check just came in.
So March will show a reimbursement?
Yes. Yep, it should.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
then, and that's actually in two parts. There's another part there, 28,520. And I think that's the more recent energy efficiency project. And I'm not sure what that number represents in terms of, it may be what's outstanding that we've held on for retainage. I'm not 100% sure of that, but that's what that number the size of that number makes me think that's probably what it is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions, Mike?
Yes, Bill, as far as time frame on these reports, I mean, we're looking at, end of February. When do you generally have, like, March? When will that be completed, roughly? First week, second week?
No, not the first week, because what you're doing, typically what you're doing is, I mean, it's the same in private sector. You close the books, and in the government doesn't technically close their books every fiscal period, because you really only have one fiscal period, and that's the year. We do kind of a soft close, if you will, where we report on these numbers, and everything is confined to a specific period. But what happens is we have people review all the invoices, come in near the end of the month, somewhere around that time. And we've been and it's, some before. So we've been entering all that information into the system. Then the department heads have or there's administrative staff have the opportunity to go through and check things to make sure that there's nothing unusual in their lines. If they find anything, then corrections get made, and then the final report gets put out. So by the time typically you should be getting something around everybody gets a report around the second week, somewhere around the middle to the end of the second week.
So that would be the-
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Is
go
it-
ahead.
So basically, is it safe to say that by the 20th of the month, these reports are pretty much set in stone, or?
Well, I think that's fair to say. It depends. I mean, I can't tell you that. No, I can tell you that I know that last year, when we were in the midst of the system implementation, which is wrapping up this year, getting reports out was a struggle, because there was just too much being done by too few people. But this year is much better. We've been getting the reports out on time for the most part, and certainly in time for the second meeting for the town council.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Yep, you're welcome.
Other questions for Bill?
So I have a question for Bill.
Yep.
So Bill, this is Eric Wagode. So if around the 20th you have the report ready and we continue to meet the last Monday of the month, would it be reasonable to say at that meeting, we should have the report every month?
Yeah, so yes, it is reasonable to say that. So this is really about whatever the mechanism is to getting you that. So once that report is issued, it goes to all the department heads, and then I believe that it's put out by the administrator or the town manager to the council, and I don't know if it gets sent to you automatically or what the typical protocol is, but is that correct, Dan?
That's how we've typically worked it in the past. I know
Okay.
the past couple of months we haven't, probably due to the deliberative
Budget,
session in the election, but
Okay, yeah. All right.
If we could have that automatically distributed to us monthly, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I'll bring that up with Steve, but I don't see why that would be a problem. We've actually, over this last year, really striven to get things out in as timely a fashion as possible.
I
For
would
obvious-
think Steve wouldn't want to give it to us until he's given it to the council, but
Well,
maybe-
exactly. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is, and that's, and he's my boss, so I'm naturally gonna make no commitments without his approval, but your request is certainly not, it's not a bad request, and I can't imagine that Steve, once he's had a chance to send to council, that it would go then to you guys. There should be no, I don't foresee any hurdles there.
Is the council's second meeting the third week of the month?
Let's see, what is it?
You meet
the
the first and third Wednesday of every
First-
month.
first and
Right,
third.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Steve would almost have a week, part of a week to, so it is possible, yeah. Okay, good.
All right, other questions for Bill? Going once, going twice. Thank you, Bill, for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry I was late. Have a nice evening.
No, apologize for the technical problems. All right, unless anybody has any other business they want to bring up,
Well,
we're at the end of our agenda.
I move we adjourn.
Before that, sorry.
well, before
Joe?
that, let me just say, on behalf of all of us, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jeff, for your service, guys. And,
Yes, thank you.
It's been
Thanks,
great
Ed.
working with you and being with you. And Dan, you've done an excellent job, I think, really.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And let's not leave Rob out either. Rob, this is the end of his term as well. So Rob, thank you for stepping up 3 years ago and all the contributions to the committee. It's been a long, weird ride. I'm sure Jeff remembers this night when we were all sitting at Riverworks, the two of us and Dan Hill, in just literally mouths hanging open because we could not believe that all three of us won. Seems like not so long ago, but I guess it's been 6 years at this point. So thanks, Jeff, for all the help over the years, for being vice chair a couple of times, and it's been fun.
Same
But
here,
we,
my
we have
pleasure, Dan.
three,
Thanks.
three openings, so Jeff may not be out of this the way he thinks.
I'll leave that for others to comment on. Myself, 6 years, it's been enjoyable, but it's enough. So thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it, but I'm going to be done with municipal government for a little while.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. You've done a great job this past year.
Thank
Really
you.
have. I know it hasn't been easy, but it's been good.
It's not been as hard as you'd think either, though. It's, I do hope that you're able to find more folks who want to step up and help out. It is a very important thing for the town, and it's an important advisory role. It's kind of keeps the process honest and open, and helps everybody feel better when they go to the ballot box, or when they go to the polls every year in March, to know that a second set of eyes have been over all of these budgets. And anyway, thank you, everybody. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I just have a couple of quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please,
Dan.
Eric, go ahead.
A couple months ago, we got a copy of the audit.
Mhm.
And we never reviewed that. I guess my question leads to, our next meeting is an organizational meeting. Who's going to do that agenda?
I don't know the answer to that. This is, I think, the first year in a while where we haven't had either the chair or the vice chair returning. Typically, that would be something the vice chair would do. This is probably as good a time as any to discuss that. If anybody wants to volunteer and with the consent of the rest of the committee, put the agenda together, then Mike, do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I kind of checked with Steve on this, and from what he understands, when we schedule our next meeting with the new members, Terry from the town clerk's office would probably start that meeting for us until we actually got a chair and a vice chair set up, and then we can go separate ways.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I'm thinking about the school board's meeting the other night. The superintendent essentially opened the meeting and ran the meeting until they selected a chair. I believe in the past seen Steve do that for the council. So yeah, I mean, that would be certainly a way to go about it if Terry's available. Or, and in terms of putting an agenda together, I would sure she can issue it, but I imagine that the returning committee members, if you've got stuff you want to see on it, I'm sure she'd be happy to take all the input she can get in terms of formulating that.
Can I suggest that we set a date for
Yep.
at least an organizational meeting
Thank you.
to take place sometime next week?
You just need to wait until, I don't know the exact date everyone gets sworn in. I am somewhat embarrassed to admit, that's why I was hoping Steve would be here tonight. So you just want to make sure it's after that date.
I believe it's April 6th.
Yeah, it's a month from when the election was, so it's or 30
Oh,
days,
April
31
6th.
days or something.
Okay. But anyway, just so everybody knows, the basic process for that is make sure that you copy Wendy Chase on all the emails. She's the one who posts the notices on behalf of the town, or so that we have a legal meeting that's properly noticed. And make sure you copy Patricia Denmark as well, because you want to make sure she knows about the meeting and will do the minutes, because otherwise someone from the committee has to do them, and nobody wants that.
So would we potentially be in the clear if we tried to set something up for a week from tomorrow, which would be the 6th, I believe? Even if it was
Again, better question for Steve than for me. People get sworn in on or after the 6th. If it was me and I was wanting to play it completely safe, maybe I'd go 2 weeks.
Is there any reason not to do it the end of, our normal time for an April meeting?
That
I
would
may not,
be-
I may not be here the 26th. Okay, so it would be possible to do it the 12th or the 6th or the 19th.
I can't do the 12th, but I could call in from out of state.
Just make sure you're alone.
the 19th work for everybody?
Oh, uh-oh, did I?
No, does the 19th work for everybody? Any conflicts on the 19th?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm hearing none from anybody who would be involved.
Yeah, there's only 3, I think, on the call.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19th's okay.
I could do the
Okay.
19th.
All
So
right.
we'd meet the 19th, and any agenda items go to Terry?
Yeah, I assuming that that's something that Terry's going to help with, and
Okay,
and I'm happy to send her all of Word copies of all of my old agendas if she just wants the format, or maybe she's got her own. I'm indifferent.
so we couldn't elect a chair tonight, is what you're
No.
saying? We
Correct.
can't- Okay, thank you.
I don't. I'm not even sure. I don't even think you have quorum with
No.
Good point.
Rob, Jeff, and myself out.
Just wondering if Joe might not want to reach out to Steve and try to set it up. So we've got like one point
Good
person.
idea.
They'll do that if you want, sure. I'd like to.
I
Okay,
think that's a good
yeah.
idea.
if you can set it up, Joe, and then like I say, we'll tentatively plan on the 19th and see if it goes that way.
Okay, all
Zach,
right.
Zach looks like a man with something to say.
I have no issue with the 19th, but I've been looking for the town charter, and it does say, except as provided in Article 12, all members shall take office on the first Monday in April, following the second Tuesday in March, following their election. So 19th should be good. This was specifically in the town council spot, but it should apply to all town elected officials. So I think 19th will be good.
Okay,
All right.
Sounds good.
Anything else we can do before we call Rob?
Motion to adjourn?
Second,
Hey, we have a motion from Rob, a second from, I didn't catch who seconded that.
I think it was me, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. All right, one last roll call vote. Roger,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Zach,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
chair votes aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Everyone's.